Good morning. It's that time of day again. Time for pre-market PulseScan with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com. It's Thursday, one day away from Take Back Friday. It's coming, folks, one day away. It's been a wild ride in these equity markets this week. All types of news and earnings coming out. We had the impeachment situation yesterday, of which President Trump was acquitted of all charges. And, time marches on. Things march on. So now it's time, though. Put up or shut up, right? We got to see what's cooking. I know that the Democrats are concerned, because they weren't able to get his name off that docket. So the question is now, are they going to continue with their persecution of the president? Because, that is their prerogative to still, depose people and interrogate people. And, I'm sure they got more tricks up their sleeve. They're not going to stop. The idea is to not have to run against him in the election. They want to get his name removed from the ballot. So impeachment didn't work, couldn't get him impeached. In addition to that, they were hoping to achieve a couple of things with the impeachment. They were hoping, of course, the best case scenario would be to impeach the president. That was their number one goal. They were hoping they could get that. They knew it was a long shot, but they were really hoping for that. They said, okay, if we can't do that, at least we can cast a dark cloud over his election, his run for election for a second term. We can make it so that he won't seek a second term, or if he does, he won't stand a chance because he has this black mark, this stain, this cloud over him. That's what they really wanted to do. They couldn't get him kicked out. They wanted to at least wound him. All right, so that he won't be able to successfully win by a landslide like he did last time. All right, so that was the second agenda. Now that has failed, they go to Plan C. All right, Plan C is to get his name removed off of the docket. All right, so they're trying now to get him, banned so that he can't even run and his name can't even be on the docket. So that's the next goal. When that fails, they won't have any other. There won't be any other option. Once that fails, once they can't get his name off the docket and they have to run against him, which they know they can't win. I hate to say it, folks, but the only thing left for them to do is just to assassinate the president. And that's not going to work either. So there's nothing they can do. The Democrats have killed themselves, and they've totally made themselves look stupid with pursuing this witch hunt against the president. And there's no way in four worlds the Democrats are going to win in the November election. They did it to themselves. They should have left this alone and pursued trying to win the election instead of focusing all their energy on attacking one man. What they should have done was focus on winning the election and coming up with a really good plan to further the United States, to better the country. That's what they should have done. But they're not doing that. They were never intended on doing that. All right, so here we are. The markets appreciate what they've done because since the president's been in office, the stock market has been extremely healthy. Donald Trump has been an antibiotic for the stock market. And now the stock market is healthy. if the Democrats were to have gotten in office, the stock market would be in trouble. And that's just what it is, folks. So now you have the political aspect of the Wall Street situation. Now it's time to look at something else. Global stocks climb on China tariff cuts, U.S. jobs data, and Wuhan coronavirus vaccine hopes. The economic threat of the coronavirus has probably been overblown, one analyst said. Ponzi schemer Bernie Madoff seeks compassionate release from prison due to terminal kidney failure. The 81-year-old has so far served 11 years of his sentence. We spoke to a Robinhood trader who says he made a 1,300% return from Tesla stock rally. Here's how he did it. Anything beyond $900 for Tesla is purely speculative, as their financials can't legitimately back a valuation that high yet, the Reddit user said. Well, I'm going to go a step further. Unless that person took profit, they're looking now at giving it all back. As I speak, Tesla is down another $30 in pre-market. Yeah, ouch, $30. It's a lot of money. That's a lot of coin that is peeling off. Looks like we're definitely starting to go into phase 2 of this pullback / correction. If it can survive, that's the thing about stage 2 pullbacks. If, the markets don't always survive it. All right. It's a very powerful antidote, but there are some side effects. The side effect is that the supports will not hold once the gap is filled and the market keeps falling. All right, so that is the risk that is run with a stage 2. All right, and that's where we are. The market is trying to go there. Can the supports hold? Will the supports hold? Remember, not long ago, this was the stock too short. This was that play. Everyone who had on a bear suit was shorting the stuffings out of the stock. Now, everyone's bullish. Let's see what happens. I've already given you the roadmap, so now all we have to do is drive the car, pun intended. Twitter tops expectations with first $1 billion quarterly revenue, but outlook lags. The social media giant beat user growth estimates, but reported net income below forecasts. Huawei takes legal action against Verizon for alleged patent infringements. Well, isn't this the pot calling the kettle black? I thought China was always the one with the patent infringement. Now they're accusing the USA of patent infringement? The Chinese telecom titan claims it contacted the U.S. carrier early last year to discuss the need for licensing its patents. Fiat Chrysler's Q4 earnings meet Wall Street expectations. Stock moves up 3% pre-market. The automaker benefited from a strong North American business and better results in Latin America. As you guys know, automakers have been in the toilet for a minute. And I'm be honest with you, I don't see that really getting any better. So I think this pop in the stock is going to be sold and sold hard. Nintendo Switch shipments to Japan will be delayed by the coronavirus. The Japanese video game titan said delays were inevitable for certain console accessories and games. That is not a good thing. Not a good thing. So, that's the thing. China is like, the manufacturer on the planet. Pretty much anything that you use is coming out of China. So, you game heads out there, like myself, Nintendo Switch is the bomb, man. It is the best handheld console ever created. It is incredible. You get to play PlayStation 4 titles on there, and they work very well. It looks beautiful. So, I know a lot of games are supposed to be dropping. Now, the good news is, though, let's get to the background of the story. It's not all bad because there is a big turn of the tide toward electronic downloads now. So unless your electronic downloads can carry the coronavirus, you should be good to go on downloading new release titles. All right. Now, as far as accessories go, well, basically what they're basically trying to tell you is whatever you can find in your local GameStop or whatever is what you're going to be stuck with for now, unless you can go on Amazon and find a Prime that, if you're a Prime member, you find a Prime, and that means they have it in their local facilities and you can get it like next day or something. But if you got to go through a third-party seller, especially coming out of China, good luck with that. You're not getting that title for a minute, or if it's hardware, you ain't getting that for a minute. That's basically what the article is saying. But as far as new games that are dropping, a lot of people are just downloading the digital copies. They're not going out and waiting to buy the physical copies. So there may be some delays on physical copies, but not on the digital copies. So that's just something to think about when you look at stories like that. Data is trickling out. Figures for jobless claims and productivity are the highlights. Some key earnings are coming out. Uber, Activision Blizzard, Philip Morris, or some of the big names. Activision Blizzard, it's going to be an interesting one because, I follow that gaming thing. All right, so time to move on. All right, so let's do that. Let's get into the fun stuff. The really, really fun stuff. And good morning to you, my man, Kyle. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's go into these overnight markets. You want to see what those markets are doing. Let's see what we can find out. All right. So, excuse me, as we speak, the Dow futures are up 110 points at 29,351. The E-mini NASDAQ 100 is up 26 points at 9407.5. E-mini S&P 500 is up 10 3/4 points at 3346. The Russell is up 4.5 points at 1689.30. Bitcoin is up $55 at 98.85. We did break 10,000 in the Bitcoin futures contract. All right, round of applause for that massive movement. I did tell you that 10,000 was going to be in play, and that's exactly what has happened. The initial target for this Bitcoin move has happened. Those of you that are still long, please make sure you have your stops in place because you're probably going to be wanting to get out here and take some profit and wait for your next opportunity to get in. Just saying. All right, here's a freebie for you who are not members of the PulseWave trading family. Are you ready? The futures overnight low is $9,685. If that support is taken out, you should get out if you are still long. All right? Take my word for it. If the overnight low is taken out, you don't want to be long in this market. All right? So there you have it. All right, that's a freebie for you. The rest of you, you know how to play this thing. You don't have to get out of the market until the market takes you out of the market. So tighten up those stops, man. Pop your way through this. Don't turn a winning trade into a losing trade. All right? Now, So Bitcoin is up $65 now at $9,895. Nat gas down a penny at $1.84. And Euro yen is, wow, okay, Euro yen. I see you. Up 10. Actually, no, I'm sorry, up 104 pips at 120.88. Crude oil is down 17 cents at $50.55 a barrel. Now, you'd be like, that's nothing. Oh, it is a lot of something. Technically speaking, you're down almost $2 from the overnight high, $52.20. The strong bond, aka the long bond, is down 5/32 at 160.31. Gold futures, quiet, up $4.20 at 15.67 even. Silver up 20 cents at $17.81 an ounce. US dollar index up a pip at 98.31. The euro is up 1 pip at 110.24. The pound sterling is down 21 pips at 129.81. The Aussie dollar is up 5 pips at 67.55. And we got beans. Beans are up 3 3/4 points at 8.83 3/4. Corn is down 75 cents at $3.80 a bushel. And that will do it for our pre-market. Now let's take a quick 2-bar Charlie scan of these markets and see what we can come up with. So far, Nathan. All right, Nathan. Those 2-bar Charlies are hard to find. Oh, ding, 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 ding. We got one in the Euro yen. We got a bullish 2-bar Charlie all day up on the Euro yen. So this is going to be an interesting one. Will it hold? Can it hold? I think it might. I think it'll just be a very narrow range type of a trading day, probably though. So I'm not expecting too much upward movement, but we should close positive on the day though. So the 104 pip run should hold. All right, let's see if we find any more 2-bar Charlie setups today. And it's not looking like we got any more. Still scanning. Ding, 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 ding. We got one in soybeans. Bullish 2-bar Charlie in soybeans. All right. So that one looks good. You could get a little pop on the open on the beans. So you're going to want to watch that and see if later on this morning the market gets a little bit more sophisticated for you. All right. And that should do it. So we got 2 bullish 2-bar Charlies today. All right. All right. That's all I got, y'all. Today is Thursday, so you know how that go. This is the last day for a big push in any type of a trend. If a market's been bearish, this is the day it's going to try to give one last push, one last leg down. If a market's been bullish, it's going to get one more push upward, try to rally before Take Back Friday tomorrow. So be ready. Be ready. You got your marching orders. You got your PulseWave price trigger reports on your dashboard. And let's give a round of applause to my man, Frank. Frank has hooked up that dash. That dashboard is looking straight sexy. I love how the inputs and how everything's just right there in front of you. It looks dope. So yes, I'm glad that we were able to get that out and make things easier to find and all that good stuff. Let's see here. Got some comments. My man Mick, you say you've been watching the channel for years. This channel should be huge. Why? Who knows? My favorite by far. Thanks, man. Good looking out, man. I appreciate the love and the support. You know, I guess it's because what I do is just so different than what other people do. I don't really see other people as my competitors, to be quite honest with you, because they don't have what I have. You know, I do what I do differently. There's a handful of us on YouTube, just a handful. I can count on one hand, and it might not even take up the whole hand. Seriously, I can't. I don't think I can count 5 people on YouTube that do what I do. I have, like I said, a couple of comrades on here, and that's about it. We go way back, but everyone else, man, they're just, I call them, news reporters. That's basically what they're doing. They don't have trading systems. They didn't work on Wall Street as a licensed representative whose job title was trading. All right, that's few and far between. There's few and far between individuals who actually trade for a living and or was paid to trade for others for a living. So it's a rare thing. And I remember when I first came on YouTube, man, going back a decade now, and I wasn't on YouTube but a month, and I got blocked and banned from the larger trading YouTube channels, and I didn't even know them, and they didn't know me. But I know one day I went to comment on somebody's video to say, "Yo, man, I know you did a nice job on that video. That was tight." And it said, "You cannot leave a comment because you have been blocked by this user." I was like, "Wow." So yeah, people scared of me, and it is what it is. I could care less. My job is to do what I'm doing, give you guys, the best information that you can have, that I can give you, and just to be on point with my stuff. I mean, that's it. I'm just doing me. I can't really be concerned about what other people do or what they don't do. So my thing is, I always wanted to be a blessing to other people. And that's one of the tenets of what we do. I am only as successful as you are. If my people aren't making money, then what am I doing here? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what we charge for our services. If I charge $1 million a month, or if I charge, $50 a month, it wouldn't matter. If the people aren't making money, if your life is not being enriched, then there's a problem. So I always studied on not necessarily having all the bells and the whistles, and I don't have some big financial backing and all that stuff. So my website is nice, what I'm saying? The service I offer is nice, but it ain't super fly fancy. But guess what though? I never focused on that. I always focused on having the best, superior product on the planet with the most competitive pricing on the planet, backed by the most powerful customer service on the planet. And with those 3 ingredients, you got yourself a winner. So that is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? That's funny. I'm put this up here. He said they scared because I'm sharing the code. That's another thing too. You're right. You got a lot of snake oil salesmen out there. They got the super fly fancy websites. They got financial backing. They got commercials. You can't watch your favorite program on TV without seeing their commercials and stuff. It's all this sizzle, but there's no steak at the end. You know what I'm saying? There's no steak. I said, forget the sizzle. Let me just give the people the steak. People are hungry. They need to eat. They don't care about all that fancy smancy stuff. My charts may not be the sexiest, but they're the most accurate. See what I'm saying? That's what matters at the end of the day. Blessing other people, enriching other people's lives, leaving people better off than when you first met them. If I can't do that, then I don't have no purpose being anywhere on the internet doing anything. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I do what I do, because I know for a fact that I can assist you and help make things better for you. Some people that listen to me may be well off financially, whatever. That's great. But a lot of people aren't. And this is an extra additional income stream for those people. So it doesn't matter if you work at Wendy's or if you work at Walmart, you can afford my service and you have an opportunity to have a secondary income stream. So this should help make your life a little bit easier. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we exist. That's why I do what I do, is to be a blessing to others for real. See what I'm saying? Not just some other, jerk on the internet taking people's money. That's not what we do. All right. So there you have it. I know I waxed philosophical. Let me get off my soapbox. I know y'all got things to do, and I got some tickets to put on. So with that being said, I will see you guys this evening with the end of day report. And don't forget our webinar tomorrow. Lord willing, we have an enormous announcement for tomorrow. So you don't want to miss the webinar. Please go to PulseWaveTrading.com and sign up, register for that webinar. It's going to be dope. Trust me. You're going to want to tell somebody, and you're going to want to bring them, because the announcement we're going to make, I have to tell you, if you miss it, you're going to miss out on something huge, something we've never done before that we're about to do, and it is insane. And I think you're going to want to stay tuned for Friday's webinar. All right. So with that being said, remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And you know what I say after that, right? I normally say peace, but I got to put this up here, my man, Mick. You are most welcome. He says, thanks again. If I wasn't still in my position, I'd be back in the trading room at the drop of a hat. Gotta love that medical system. 3 months turned into 2.5 years. I hear you, my man. I hear you. Hey, love you, bro. Be encouraged, and I will see y'all later. Peace.